Today, we're putting two of the biggest bulldozer brands in the world head-to-head, Caterpillar versus Komatsu, in the ultimate showdown to find out which one is the king of the construction site. Now, this isn't just some spec sheet comparison. Oh no, we're diving into raw horsepower, technology that makes bulldozers almost drive themselves. Which one will save you more money on fuel, and even which cab is actually comfortable enough to sit in for 10 hours a day. On one side, you've got Caterpillar, the American giant that's been dominating job sites for nearly a century, with machines so tough they're basically construction tanks. On the other side, you've got Komatsu, the Japanese powerhouse that's not only challenging Cat's throne, but pushing bulldozer tech into the future with insane automation and fuel efficiency. So here's the real question. If you had to choose one bulldozer to run your site, the brand that pushes harder, lasts longer, saves more money, and gives you the edge, which would it be? Stick around, because we're about to break this down feature by feature, from global support, durability, and performance, all the way to operator comfort and resale value. And by the end, you'll know exactly which bulldozer truly rules the dirt.
All right, let's kick things off with one of the most underrated but absolutely crucial features when it comes to bulldozers: global support and parts availability. Because let's be real, it doesn't matter how powerful your bulldozer is if it's broken down in the middle of nowhere and you can't get it fixed for weeks. That's lost time, lost contracts, and lost money. So how do Caterpillar and Komatsu stack up? First, Caterpillar. Caterpillar has what many consider the most extensive dealer network on the planet. We're talking over 165 dealers across 190 countries, meaning no matter where you are, whether it's a mega mine in Australia, a construction site in Kenya, or a road project in South America, there's probably a Cat dealer or service center nearby. And here's the kicker. Caterpillar has invested heavily in rapid parts logistics. In fact, industry reports show that 96% of Cat parts orders are delivered within 24 hours. That means if a dozer goes down, chances are it's back up and running faster than you'd expect. Now, let's talk Komatsu. Komatsu also has a strong global presence. They're huge in Asia, especially in Japan, China, and Indonesia. Plus, they've built solid networks in parts of Europe, Africa, and Latin America. Their Komatsu Care Service program is impressive, offering complimentary scheduled maintenance on new machines and extended coverage in many regions. But here's the difference. Komatsu's dealer coverage isn't quite as everywhere as Caterpillar's. For example, in some remote mining towns in Africa or rural construction sites in South America, you're more likely to find a Cat dealer than a Komatsu one. And when your dozer is sitting idle waiting for a part, that difference really hurts. Now, before we crown a winner here, let's think about it practically. If you're a global construction firm working across multiple countries, Caterpillar's vast support network can save you millions over time just by reducing downtime. But if you're in a region where Komatsu is dominant, like parts of Asia, Komatsu's support can be just as strong and sometimes even more specialized. Example, imagine you're running a mining operation in Indonesia. Komatsu's regional presence there is so strong that parts and service are lightning fast, sometimes even beating Caterpillar. But flip the map to Brazil, and Caterpillar's dealer dominance means Cat machines are often back in action days earlier than Komatsu machines. So when it comes to global support, here's the bottom line. Caterpillar wins globally with its massive dealer and service footprint. Komatsu competes strongly in regional strongholds, particularly across Asia and growing markets in Latin America. And remember, downtime is money. So, in this category, if you're a company operating worldwide, Caterpillar's support network is almost impossible to beat.
When you think of bulldozers, one word comes to mind: toughness. These machines aren't built for showroom floors. They're built to survive years of abuse in brutal conditions: scorching deserts, frozen tundras, deep mines, and muddy jungles. So which brand, Caterpillar or Komatsu, can take the most punishment and keep on pushing? Let's start with Caterpillar. Cat has built its reputation on rugged, almost indestructible designs. These machines are engineered with thicker steel, reinforced frames, and heavy-duty undercarriages designed for constant punishment. It's why you'll still find 20 or even 30-year-old Caterpillar dozers running strong in mining sites today. In fact, in the Nevada gold mines, some Caterpillar D11 bulldozers have logged over 60,000 working hours and are still operational after multiple rebuilds. That's like a car running for 3 million miles without ever retiring. Caterpillar's philosophy is simple: build it once, keep it working forever. Now, what about Komatsu? Komatsu dozers are also built tough, but they take a slightly different approach. Instead of just making the machine heavier, Komatsu emphasizes efficiency and precision engineering. Their hydraulic systems are known for smoother operation, and their machines tend to experience fewer small breakdowns over time, especially in humid or tropical climates. For example, in Indonesia and Thailand, where the environment is harsh with extreme humidity, Komatsu dozers often get praised for having fewer hydraulic issues compared to Caterpillar. Operators there say Komatsu machines feel more reliable in day-to-day operations, while Caterpillar shines in raw longevity. A real-world picture? A Caterpillar dozer is like a military tank, designed to survive direct hits and still keep moving. A Komatsu dozer is like a precision-engineered fighter jet built to perform smoothly with systems designed to avoid failure in the first place. And when it comes to rebuilds, Caterpillar wins again. Cat dozers are built to be rebuildable multiple times, which means instead of scrapping the machine, companies just replace components and keep running. Komatsu can be rebuilt too, but Caterpillar has perfected this second life system to maximize lifespan. So in the battle of durability, if you want a machine that will still be working 25 years from now with rebuilds, Caterpillar is your go-to. But if you're working in regions where precision hydraulics and fewer day-to-day issues matter, Komatsu makes a very strong case. At the end of the day, both are durable, but Caterpillar is like the bulldozer equivalent of a rock that just doesn't break.
All right, let's be honest. Bulldozers used to be all about raw muscle, a giant engine, a heavy blade, and brute force pushing mountains of dirt. But today, the game has changed. Modern bulldozers are basically computers on tracks, and both Caterpillar and Komatsu are fighting to prove they've got the smartest dozer in the dirt. Let's talk Caterpillar first. Caterpillar has gone big on automation and telematics. Their system called Cat Connect links your dozer to the cloud, giving owners live updates on fuel consumption, idle time, and even predictive maintenance alerts before something breaks. And then there's Cat Command. This lets operators run a bulldozer remotely, sitting in a control room miles away. Why? Imagine working in a hazardous mine where landslides are a risk. Instead of putting an operator's life on the line, you control the machine like a real-life video game. That's not just cool, it's saving lives. Now on the other side, we've got Komatsu. Komatsu takes a slightly different but equally impressive approach. Their crown jewel is Intelligent Machine Control, IMC. Picture this. You set the design plan, and the bulldozer automatically adjusts its blade to cut the ground to exactly the right level. No overdigging, no wasted fuel, no constant corrections. It's like autopilot for earth moving. Then add Comtrax, Komatsu's telematics system, which tracks machine health, fuel use, and operator habits. Fleet managers love it because it helps cut costs and improves efficiency across multiple machines. Real-world example? In a road construction project in Japan, Komatsu dozers with IMC were able to finish grading work in 20% less time compared to traditional machines. That's less labor, less fuel, and a faster project delivery. Caterpillar dozers with Cat Command, meanwhile, are already being used in dangerous mining pits in Australia, where operators run massive bulldozers from safe, air-conditioned offices far away from the dust and danger. So, here's the breakdown. Caterpillar's innovation is all about connectivity, remote operation, and safety. Komatsu's innovation is about precision,
automation, and efficiency. Both are turning bulldozers into smart machines. But the real winner? It depends. If you're running projects in dangerous zones, Caterpillar's remote control tech is a lifesaver. If you're grading large areas with precision and speed, Komatsu's intelligent machine control is unbeatable. This isn't just muscle anymore, it's muscle with a brain.
When you're running a bulldozer, it's not just about raw power. It's about how much fuel you're burning per hour and how much money you're spending to keep the machine alive. Because in the real world, a bulldozer that eats up fuel like crazy can drain a company's profits faster than it moves dirt. Let's start with Caterpillar. CAT has invested heavily in fuel-saving technology. Their engines use something called ACERT technology, basically an advanced system that optimizes fuel burn, lowers emissions, and still delivers consistent torque. Operators often say that even when the workload is heavy, CAT machines balance performance with surprisingly good efficiency. Plus, Caterpillar has integrated smart idle control systems, meaning the dozer automatically reduces RPMs when it's not actively pushing, saving fuel during downtime. Now, over to Komatsu. This is where things get really interesting. Komatsu is known for their Comtrax telematics system, a built-in brain that tracks every detail of fuel use, idle time, and operator efficiency. What's more, Komatsu bulldozers often run on their Tier 4 final engines, which are engineered to squeeze maximum work out of every drop of diesel. Some contractors swear Komatsu's bulldozers sip less fuel than Caterpillar's, especially during long-haul, lower-intensity operations. But here's the big kicker: operating costs. Caterpillar parts and maintenance tend to be more expensive simply because they dominate the premium market. Meanwhile, Komatsu is seen as a bit more cost-effective in the long run, especially when it comes to replacement parts and fuel consumption. So, when it comes to fuel efficiency and costs, Komatsu might take the win for companies looking to save money on day-to-day operations. But Caterpillar still holds the advantage for raw durability, even if it means spending more at the pump and in the shop. All right, buckle up, because this is where things get serious. You can talk about engines, comfort, and hydraulics all day, but at the end of the day, a bulldozer is an investment. These machines cost anywhere from $300,000 to over $1 million. So you want one that lasts. Let's start with Caterpillar. Cat bulldozers are famous for being tanks on tracks. The company has built its reputation on longevity. Some Caterpillar D6s and D8s from the 1980s are still running strong today on farms, construction sites, and even mines. Why? Because Caterpillar over-engineers its components. From reinforced undercarriages to robust cooling systems, these machines are built to survive decades of abuse in extreme conditions: mud, heat, snow, you name it. Cat also has the edge with its component rebuild program. Instead of scrapping an old dozer, you can send it back to Cat and they'll rebuild it like new. Engine, transmission, hydraulics, the works. That means one Cat bulldozer can easily outlast 2 or even 3 cheaper machines. Owners often report 20 to 30 years of service life. Now, Komatsu isn't far behind. Their dozers are also built tough, with advanced steel alloys and modular designs that make parts easier to swap out. In fact, Komatsu machines often outshine Cat in extreme cold conditions, thanks to their efficient electrical systems and robust fuel injection technology. In places like Siberia and northern Canada, contractors swear by Komatsu. However, here's the catch. Komatsu machines can be more expensive to repair outside Japan or Asia because parts and skilled technicians aren't always as widely available as Cat's. That means downtime can hit harder if something breaks. So here's the big takeaway. Caterpillar is the forever machine. You can pass it down from one generation to the next.
Komatsu is durable, yes, but shines best where conditions are harsh and reliability under stress is everything. But durability alone doesn't tell the whole story. Because what about fuel efficiency? After all, the longer a bulldozer lasts, the more fuel it'll burn in its lifetime. And here's where the fight gets really interesting.
Caterpillar has built a reputation for squeezing maximum productivity out of every drop of fuel. Their ACERT engine technology is designed not just for raw power, but also for low emissions and reduced fuel burn. A Cat D8T, for instance, can push massive loads while maintaining an impressive fuel-to-material moved ratio, which is exactly what construction managers love. Less fuel wasted means more money saved on every shift. Komatsu, on the other hand, hits back with its Komatsu SAA 6D140E7 engine and Eco Mode systems. This isn't just marketing fluff. These machines are engineered with variable horsepower control, meaning the dozer adjusts its power output based on the resistance of the ground. Lighter load, less fuel burned. Tough terrain, more juice kicks in automatically. Operators don't have to think twice. It's seamless. Here's where it gets interesting. In independent tests, Komatsu often edges out Caterpillar in fuel savings per hour, especially on long projects. Their Comtrax telematics system also lets owners track exactly how much fuel is being burned, when, and where, helping cut operating costs down to the smallest detail. But Caterpillar doesn't lose here. Their product-linked telematics offers similar insights and integrates with fleet management systems worldwide, making it easier for global companies to standardize fuel-saving practices. Bottom line, Caterpillar is like the heavyweight champ, burning more fuel but delivering more muscle per gallon. Komatsu is the tactician, squeezing efficiency out of every move, perfect for contractors who count every dollar. So if you're a company running dozens of bulldozers daily, Komatsu might save you millions in the long run. But if your projects demand brute pushing power all day, every day, Caterpillar's slightly higher fuel burn is a trade-off you'll gladly accept.
All right, time for the operator comfort and technology showdown. When you think of bulldozers, you picture raw power, dirt flying, and engines roaring, but let's be real. These machines aren't just about brute force anymore. Modern bulldozers are high-tech command centers on tracks, and this is where Caterpillar and Komatsu go head-to-head in a battle of brains versus brawn. Caterpillar has a reputation for making the operator's life as comfortable as possible. Inside a cat dozer, you'll find spacious cabs with ergonomic joystick controls, climate control for those blazing hot or freezing days, and reduced noise levels so operators can focus without going deaf. But that's not all. Caterpillar equips its dozers with Cat Command technology, which means operators can literally control these beasts remotely from a safe distance. Imagine running a 50-ton machine without even sitting in it. That's futuristic. Now, Komatsu is no slouch either. Their cabs are designed with panoramic visibility, so operators can see every inch of the job site, reducing blind spots and accidents. Plus, Komatsu has its intelligent machine control system that uses GPS and automation to help operators cut, fill, and grade with insane accuracy, basically turning a rookie into a pro on day one. Add in their comfortable suspension seating and intuitive joystick steering, and you've got a bulldozer that feels more like a high-tech cockpit. So, when it comes to operator comfort and technology, Caterpillar offers remote control dominance and luxury interiors, while Komatsu focuses on precision automation and unbeatable visibility.
When you're running a 60-ton bulldozer for hours in extreme heat, freezing cold, or dusty mine sites, safety and comfort aren't nice-to-haves, they're survival tools. Let's break it down. Caterpillar's cab design is like sitting in a luxury SUV that just happens to push mountains. You've got air suspension seats, climate-controlled air conditioning, noise reduction tech, and even 360-degree visibility with advanced camera systems. Their latest models also feature Cat Detect, which warns operators of nearby objects or people, massively reducing accident risks. Komatsu, on the other hand, focuses on operator ergonomics. Their cabs are built wider, giving operators more room, with low vibration controls that reduce fatigue. Their Comb Vision system provides a bird's-eye view around the machine, practically eliminating blind spots. Safety alarms, rollover protection, and automatic fire suppression systems are also available in heavy-duty models. But here's the real kicker. Caterpillar invests heavily in operator well-being, offering customizable seat positions, touchscreen controls, and reduced cabin noise levels that can go as low as 70 decibels, quieter than a vacuum cleaner. Komatsu isn't far behind, but Cat edges out slightly with creature comforts that matter during those grueling 12-hour shifts. So, if you value comfort like a luxury ride and top-tier safety, Caterpillar might be your best bet. But if you prefer wider cabins and simplified ergonomic controls, Komatsu makes a strong case.
When you step into a Caterpillar cab, it feels like climbing into the cockpit of a private jet. The layout is super ergonomic. Everything is positioned exactly where the operator expects it to be. Cat also invests heavily in reducing operator fatigue with air suspension seats, noise reduction cabins, and joystick controls that respond smoothly. It's designed for comfort during those 12-hour marathon shifts on the job site. On the flip side, Komatsu takes a slightly different approach. Their cabs are known for simplicity and visibility. While Caterpillar focuses on premium comfort and luxury-like touches, Komatsu makes sure operators have a clear view of the blade and work area. They integrate intuitive control panels with big, easy-to-read digital displays. Some models even feature ComVision technology, giving operators a 360-degree bird's-eye view of their surroundings, hugely improving safety and reducing blind spots. Now here's the kicker. While Caterpillar focuses on comfort and reducing stress on the operator, Komatsu is all about boosting operator awareness and safety with technology-driven visibility. So the real question is, do you prefer to work like a king inside a luxury cockpit, Caterpillar, or do you want the best situational awareness and safety tech on the market, Komatsu? When you spend millions of dollars on a bulldozer, you don't just want raw power. You want a machine that lasts through decades of abuse. So which one gives you the longest bang for your buck, Caterpillar or Komatsu? Caterpillar's reputation. Cat bulldozers are often called the Toyota Land Cruiser of heavy machinery. Farmers, contractors, and even military projects swear by them. Many Cat dozers from the 80s and 90s are still running strong today, sometimes with over 40,000 hours of use. And the secret? Cat designs its machines to be over-engineered. That means thicker steel, stronger undercarriages, and parts designed to take hits without bending. If you take care of it, a Caterpillar can practically become a family heirloom in the construction business. Komatsu's strength. Now, don't underestimate Komatsu. Their dozers are built tough too, especially for environments like mines and mega construction projects. Komatsu uses innovative metallurgy and stress-tested designs that make their frames incredibly resilient. They're also ahead in predictive maintenance technology. Their sensors detect wear and tear early, so the machine tells you what's about to break before it does. This not only extends the machine's life, but saves owners millions in downtime. So here's the difference. If you want a machine that can take punishment for decades, even without fancy sensors, Caterpillar's got the legacy. But if you want a smart bulldozer that protects itself from dying young, Komatsu has the edge. Imagine it like this. Caterpillar is the grizzled veteran that just refuses to die, while Komatsu is the young genius who knows how to avoid trouble before it starts.
All right, we've compared raw power, size, hydraulics, comfort, and even tech. But here's the question that really matters if you're running a business. How much do these beasts actually cost you in the long run? Let's start with Caterpillar. Buying a Cat bulldozer is like buying a Rolex. You're paying top dollar up front, but you know it's going to hold its value. Caterpillar machines are some of the most expensive on the market, but there's a reason for that. When it comes time to resell, Cat bulldozers often keep over 60 to 70% of their original value, even after years of use. That means contractors see them as long-term investments. Now, Komatsu comes in a bit more wallet-friendly. Their bulldozers often cost 10 to 20% less upfront than Caterpillar, which makes them super attractive for businesses that need power without breaking the bank. And Komatsu isn't cheap by any means, it's still a premium brand, but the entry price is just a little easier to swallow. But here's where the debate heats up. While Komatsu bulldozers are cheaper to buy, they don't hold resale value as well as Caterpillar. After 5 to 10 years, you might only get 50 to 55% back compared to the higher percentages from Cat. For some buyers, this difference is a deal breaker, especially if they're planning to upgrade frequently. And let's not forget operating costs. Caterpillar parts can be pricey, but you can find them almost anywhere worldwide. Komatsu parts might be cheaper, but depending on your region, they can be harder to source, sometimes leading to downtime that eats into profits. So here's the breakdown. Caterpillar equals higher upfront cost, better resale, global support. Komatsu equals lower upfront cost, decent resale, but slightly more limited parts availability. At the end of the day, it's a battle between pay more now and save later versus save now and maybe spend later.
When you're spending 12 to 14 hours inside a bulldozer cab, comfort isn't a luxury, it's survival. And this is where Caterpillar and Komatsu go head-to-head in a battle of brains and luxury. Caterpillar has always been known for its ergonomically designed cabs, spacious interiors, adjustable air suspension seats, climate control, and a noise reduction system that makes you feel like you're driving a luxury SUV instead of a bulldozer. On top of that, Cat's advanced touchscreen displays give operators access to real-time data, grade control, fuel consumption, blade positioning, and even machine diagnostics, all at the touch of a button. Komatsu, however, isn't sitting back. Their latest cab designs focus heavily on operator fatigue reduction. Wide visibility, low vibration seats, and intuitive joystick controls make handling precise work much smoother. And Komatsu brings in its ComVision technology, a system of multiple cameras that give operators a 360-degree bird's-eye view around the machine. Imagine backing up a 50-ton bulldozer with complete confidence, no blind spots. That's game-changing. So, if you're all about luxury, comfort, and ease of use, Caterpillar might feel like the clear winner. But if visibility and safety tech matter more to you, Komatsu is seriously hard to beat.
So, after breaking it all down, engine power, blade performance, hydraulics, operator comfort, technology, durability, fuel efficiency, and even pricing, here's the truth. If you want raw muscle, world-class hydraulics, and operator comfort that feels like luxury, Caterpillar takes the crown. But if you care about efficiency, rock-solid durability, and getting slightly better value for your money, Komatsu's the smarter choice. At the end of the day, it's not about which bulldozer is better. It's about which one is better for you. The contractor pushing heavy loads on a mega project? Probably going Cat. The smart operator balancing performance with long-term savings? Komatsu has your back. And that's why the Caterpillar versus Komatsu battle is so legendary, because no matter who you choose, you're running with a beast.
So after putting Caterpillar and Komatsu bulldozers head-to-head, here's the truth. Caterpillar dominates when it comes to raw power, transmission smoothness, and comfort. It's like driving the luxury SUV of the construction world. Komatsu, on the other hand, shines with fuel efficiency,
smart technology, and durability, making it the long-term cost saver and the operator's tech-savvy friend. At the end of the day, Caterpillar is your beast if you want brute strength and operator luxury. But if you want reliability, lower running costs, and smarter automation, Komatsu might just be the king. So, which side are you on? Team Caterpillar or Team Komatsu? Drop your pick in the comments, because this debate is far from over.